Ready, bud? Let's do this. Each financial decision you make carries a different weight. They all have different impact, obviously. Some decisions are pretty small. You typically don't have to labor over whether or not a candy bar will break the budget. But even some bigger purchases, we don't really question that much before you make them. The microwave broke, so I am getting a new microwave. It's a one-time purchase. We will survive. Not many questions get asked. But some decisions are slightly gigantic. That's right, I am talking about the big purchases that you commit to for a long time and require monthly payments. You don't just put in an offer on a house or buy a brand new car without some major thinking. But how do we know if we can truly and safely afford something? The age-old question. My grandfather asked it, his father asked it, his father asked it, but mostly I'm asking it and I don't know what to do. Because for some reason, it's easy to say, that brand new shiny car, only $500 a month? Ha! That's not too bad. I can afford that. Then, all of a sudden, you're 7 months into $500 a month and you realize, this is so bad. Do not add flavor packet yet. Oh. Today's trick will help you determine whether or not you're ready to afford whatever it is that you want. Particularly honing in on those purchases that require a commitment to making monthly payments. Buying a house, buying a new car, adopting a pet. You can also totally use this for smaller monthly financial commitments, determining whether or not you really are ready to add that new monthly expense into your budget. Today's tip is brought to you by my friend Dave, a Canadian resident with an extraordinary English accent. If you yourself would like to experience Dave firsthand, go ahead and sign up for one of our live workshops because Dave is a teacher for YNAB. His voice will put you to sleep. You'll be attending the workshop and then you'll just be... It's so soothing. I'm also starting a petition to get Dave to start reading audiobooks. I'm not actually doing that. All right, friends, let's pretend you are buying a new car. Not so surprisingly, your 1999 Honda Accord is having trouble chugging down the highway, much less getting out of the driveway, and you're thinking, maybe it's time for a new car. Because at this point, you have collegiate children that are younger than this thing. So, new car is on the to-do list. This tip works great if you have a little bit of time before you need to make this big decision. It's gonna help us see, 1, can we truly afford this car? And 2, do I really actually want this car? Let's find out. You start doing your research and the car that you're looking at buying will have a monthly payment of about $400 a month for 5 years. That's a lot of money. So the first thing we're gonna do is hop on over to our YNAB budget and we are going to create a brand new category for our brand new car. Now we decided it'd be about $400 a month. And of course, add an emoji. We're also going to set a monthly goal for $400. So now it shows us we need to fund $400 every month to stay on track. Now for those of you who prefer the mobile app, let me show you how to make a new category and set a monthly goal. We're gonna go up here and press edit. We're gonna add a new category to the Gotta Pay It category group. Brand new car. And like I always do, I'm gonna add that $400 a month. Save the new category. Click done. Now to add a goal in the mobile app, I'm gonna select the category, come over here to details. We're gonna click create a goal, choose the monthly funding goal, and we're gonna set it for $400 a month. There we go, save your goal, you're good to go. Also, don't forget that if you're pretty significantly stepping up your car game, you might also need to add an extra for that insurance that's gonna go up when you get a new car. So you can either lump that additional insurance amount in with the $400 a month, or you can create a brand new separate category for new car insurance. Now, we are not just going to willy-nilly buy a new car. That was the old you. This is the new you, and the new you is a forward thinker. And we are going to determine first whether or not we can afford this new monthly payment, but also whether or not you actually want to start dishing out this new monthly payment every month. So the next step is pretty easy. For the next 3 months, I only have one job for you. Your job is to fund this brand new car category every month, to the brim, in full. Now you're probably actually going to want to fully fund the goal right away because you never know when your car payments are going to be due. You may make your monthly car payments on the 28th of every month and have all month to prepare for it, or they might be due on the 2nd and you don't have all month to stockpile that money. So if I start this experiment in March, I'm going to fully fund that goal in March, fully fund that goal in April, and fully fund that goal in May. And for consistency's sake, I'll fund those goals on the phone too. Now here's the thing. Do not spend a dime out of this category. You can't use this category as your buffer money. You can't use it as your rolling with the punches category. What we're doing is simulating what life will actually look like if you are required to pay that $400 every single month. For this trick to work, you have to treat it like a non-optional payment, like a real car payment would be. Now, after 3 months, if your budget can handle it, you're gonna have $1,200 beautiful dollars sitting in this brand new car category. Man, that is a lovely sight. Now, here's the kicker. There's no math formula or equation to figure out if you can afford something or not. This isn't a deep contemplative decision-making technique. At the end of these 3 months of tucking away that full car payment amount every month, ask yourself, do I like this? Am I willing to keep doing this every month for the next 5 years? Is this money I can truly, logically, and feasibly live without in order to afford this shiny, bright new car? Let me just say, we have no problem. If you want to get a bright, shiny new car, we don't vouch for new versus used. Your decision, your decision, your decision. But truly, is that where you want your money to go? This is just helping you ask, can you swing it? And if you can, are you happy that that's what your money is going to? Your answer to this question might surprise you. You'll probably have one of 3 reactions. The first, I can totally afford this, no problem, and I would love to put my money toward those payments. Car dealership, anyone? And then you go buy your new car. The second, I can afford it, but I think I'd rather have that money go towards something else. Or the third, yeah, I definitely can't afford this. What you did in that moment is you just gave yourself information. You probably learned in the process what you had to cut back on a little bit in order to make those monthly payments happen. And you may have discovered a few things you plain had to say no to for the month because the money wasn't there. You had to put it toward your car payment. This is awesome information to have because now going into this decision, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You know what it feels like to live with that car payment coming out of your bank account every single month. Now you can move forward, buying the car, knowing exactly what you're getting into, or decide to hold off a bit, make a new plan, revisit later. So anyway, that's the trick. That concludes our video for today. We'll see you next week. Wait a minute. Do we have just $1,200 sitting in our brand new car category? Oh, I think we do. First of all, what a lovely sight. $1,200. Think of all the possibilities this now allows you. You can use that money on a down payment toward a car. If you find a good fixer-upper, now you have a lot of cash to put toward it. Or maybe you decide to leave the money untouched and re-strategize a bit. Maybe you lower your monthly car payment goal to $300. Try that out for 3 months, and if that feels comfortable for you, now you know what you're comfortable affording. You can pick that new car based on what you know you can handle financially. And if you did that, at the end of the first 3 months, you'd have $1,200 in your account. At the end of the second 3 months, you'd have $900 in your account. That is $2,100. Holla back. Maybe you decide, I don't need a car. I have a bike. Now you just have $2,100 to use however you want. Pay off student loans, buy a lot of bowling balls. Now you can revisit your options and see what caliber of car you're actually comfortable affording, new or used. So what does it look like to apply this technique to other purchases? Well, it looks pretty great, I'll tell you that. For instance, have you ever been tempted by those subscription meal services? If you have, no shame, because I think I've milked every single promotional offer from every single company, HelloFresh, Daily Harvest, you name it. For me, as a pretty busy individual with only one mouth to feed, I love knowing that the meals are pre-portioned and they're good for me and they've already decided what they're gonna be, so I don't have to. For larger families, these meal subscription services might not be as wise of an investment with your money, but for me in the stage of life I'm in, it actually makes a lot of sense to consider whether or not I could afford something like this. So I can take a few months, budget for that service as if I am receiving it every month, and at the end of 3 or 4 months decide, is this worth it? Would I rather have this meal subscription service, or would I rather have this money for other things? With this technique, you can practice what it would be like paying a new mortgage every month. It can help you determine what your budget is for finding a house. You can see what it's like to upgrade from your basic cable package to the one with all the channels and movies and fast internet. And you can test out the financial feasibility of it before committing to it. You can use it to determine whether or not you're financially stable to adopt a new pet in a few months. Or maybe determine that that's a bucket list item that you will check off later down the road. Whatever it is that you want to see if you can afford or not, this technique will help you live with that financial commitment before actually committing to it. I do declare it is a good idea. Thanks, Dave. That's where Canada is. And if you end up giving this a go, leave a comment and let us know what big purchase you decided to try this technique on. Did you make the purchase? Did you pass? Or did you reallocate those dollars to something else? So that actually concludes today's video. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next week. Pretty much all of my childhood I wanted to try this, so Mm-mm-mm-mm.